What's that?
Awesome sauce! Hello, happy Wednesday night, everyone. This is Blind Adam, the comic pimp. This is Awesome Sauce Radio here on the YouTubes. You guys check us out on Comic Crusaders on the Twitch. The replay is on Demon Seed Radio, demonseedradio.com, 7 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. No, it's 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. Excuse me. I need to learn how to tell time. But that's on demonseedradio.com. I'd like to thank my sponsors. I'd like to thank 98 Wednesdays. Get your comic books in a 98 and a guaranteed 98 each and every Wednesday. Tell Mr. Pillsbury Blind Adam sent you. Once again, that's 98 Wednesdays. Want to thank Exotica. Exotica is the sexiest and greatest convention on God's green earth. Holy tongue ties, Batman. Shit. But they're going to have great stars, great events, after parties. Chicago's April 28th to May 2nd. Tell them Blind Adam sent you. Just amazing memories to be made there. Big Apple Comic Con is March 26th at the New Yorker Hotel. They're going to have some great guests like Arthur Sidan, the Zombie King, and Michelle Harris, Nora West from The Flash, Speed Force. New Yorker Hotel, BigAppleComicCon.com. Awesome Sauce Radio will be in the building with their good buddies Calamity Collectibles. So come check everything out, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Also want to check out my good friends over at Key Collector. You want to figure out how to get into the comic book game? You need to grab some knowledge? Then grab keycollector.com. Key Collector on your iPhones, your Androids. Type in Blind Adam, all one word, and get 2-3 weeks of Key Collector under his house. Also want to give a shout out to Bad Dragon. You need some toys. You need some cock rings, because any cock would do. You know, some vibrators, all that good stuff. Go to my friends Bad Dragon. Also want to give a shout out to everyone over at Twin Cities, Twin City Comics. Twin City Comics is doing a signing with Jason Lee, Brody from Mallrats, so go check them out. I think it's $150 to get something signed, something like that. But tell them Blind Adam sent you. Also want to give a shout out to April O'Neil, the sexy and talented cosplayer and performer. Hey April, how you doing? Hey, it's April.com. Before I bring in my co-host and my guest, I'd like to start the night with a moment of silence to one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, as well as one of the greatest actors of all time. We had 2 passings in the world of pop culture. So William Hurt died of cancer. Rest in peace, Thunderbolt Ross. And one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, Scott Razor Ramon Hall, the bad guy, passed this week. And without the bad guy, there'd be no comic pimp. And we're going to have a moment of silence, and then I'm going to bring on the sexiest co-host in comic book speculation today. So here's a moment of silence for those who passed. And now we're going to bring on the sexiest co-host in all of comic book podcasting. You know her, you love her, Autumn South. How you doing?
Hi, how you doing, everybody? What's going on this week? Today we have an awesome guest, and I hope you guys enjoy. So welcome to Awesome Sauce.
And like I said, it's been a crazy week. I know it's been a crazy week for you. And without further ado, let's bring in our guest, Tate Griffin.
Hey, everybody. How you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
Good, good. How are you doing today?
I am present and accounted for. How are you?
I cannot complain. Can you please tell my audience who you are and what you do?
Well, my name's Tate Griffin. I was a professional wrestler for 25 years. And 7 years ago, I opened a comic book shop, published a few comics, and I do stand-up comedy up and down the East Coast.
That is amazing. What is the name of your shop?
Calling All Heroes Comics. We're right over in Wiley Ford, West Virginia, right outside Cumberland.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome place. Been there, obviously.
Yeah. I need a sign on the front that says, sorry about the mess, because it's a mess all the time. People bring stuff every day.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. I feel like all of them are the same. They're all cluttered with.
I feel like the messier the comic book store is, like the better it is.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Like I never wanted one that was overly sanitized. Like I don't know if you guys are all probably a bit younger than I am, but when I was a kid, if you go to a video store, I wanted to go to the Hole in the Earth video store. I wanted to go to like early Potomac Video. By the time I got to Blockbuster, it's so sanitized. Like, you're not going to find anything special. There's no treasure there.
Yeah, well, you've probably been to.
I do agree with that.
In Hagerstown.
Yeah.
I love that place. Like, that's my favorite one.
Oh yeah, Wonder Books and videos. Yeah, it's killer.
Yeah, it's Atomic Comics in Hagerstown, and it's like
Atomic is still around.
Top to bottom, like grind.
Oh yeah.
And
you know what's crazy?
Trusty.
I don't know if you heard about that, but Luke passed away.
Really? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he passed away a couple months back, and now his son Lucas has taken over, and it's still going strong. And nothing but the best of those guys. But yeah, he passed away.
I'm gonna do a Red Bull salute to Luke.
Yeah, because
Luke
he was awesome. Like, he'd be just in there in the back smoking his cigarettes. He'd be like, "Yeah, you can light up in here. It's fine." We'd be smoking our cigarettes, looking through comic books.
Yeah, I have the funniest story about him. You remember when you go in there in the wintertime and he had that like flamethrower that like kept the room warm?
Yeah,
flamethrower.
Literally, I don't know. It's some kind of a heater, but it literally looked like the ass end of a jet. Like it's just shooting like crazy. He's standing beside it, and I'm like, like something stupid. Like, you gotta pay attention for number 48, and he goes, and he just holds his cigarette down in front of the flame without even looking. Like, maybe downstairs. I don't know.
Yeah, he was just like so nonchalant, but like,
yeah,
he was like, whatever. He was,
and his son is cool as shit too, Lucas.
Yeah, his son is definitely cool, because there's a couple times I've been in there and his son has been running it for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okie doke. So you were a wrestler for 25 years?
About that, I guess. Maybe just shy of that. I started it in the beginning of '99, so maybe closer to 23.
Where did you wrestle?
I trained at the House of Pain in Hagerstown, Maryland, under John Rambo and Dick Karakoff's National Wrestling League, the NWL, and wrestled, I don't know, a bunch of places. And then after that, my brother and I opened Elite Pro Wrestling Alliance, and so we run live shows for about 13 years.
Oh wow! Place where we can see some of your work.
Oh yeah, Facebook.com/Elite Pro Universe. That's a good spot to just get all the details of current shows. Then we're on YouTube, same deal. YouTube.com/Elite Pro Universe. And if you type in my name, Griffen, Tate Griffin, and put wrestling after it, there'll be a whole list of stuff. I'm sure you'll see matches I'm not happy about, but you'll see matches that, like, I'm not trying to name drop. I'm just throwing it out so people would know who I've worked or would want to see, like Buff Bagwell and Kevin Nash and oh my gosh, the Patriot a bunch of times, and Axe from Demolition.
You brought up my curiosity with Buff Bagwell.
Yeah.
if it was towards the ends of his career, that ought to be interesting.
Yeah, I'd say if I had to pick like a favorite match I ever had with a named guy, it's probably him. He was the coolest guy in the world, and you never know what you're going to get. I've never really met anybody on that level that wasn't nice, but like he was really really cool, and he didn't necessarily have to be. Those guys have a right to come in and say, well, this is what we're doing, and this is how it's going to go. And he wasn't that guy at all. He like genuinely like wanted input. It was like, we worked together. It was good times. Really good guy. I hadn't met him prior to that, but I've met him 2 or 3 times since then, and I've never had a bad experience. He was always super cool to me.
That's awesome sauce.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you did there. That's good.
So what are the challenges of owning a comic book shop in this current market that we're in?
I'm sorry, I couldn't quite hear you, bud.
Sorry about that. What are some of the challenges of owning a comic book shop in our current market?
I got to stop. Is somebody asking philosophical questions about farting? Is that what I'm seeing on the screen right now?
Who's asking about farting?
Silently.
Is that Amanda Hogginkiss?
If Adam farts silently, did he fart at all? I don't know. That's one of those like ancient Chinese proverbs or some shit like that to clear your head.
Yes.
So
That's going on.
if you hear a fart in the woods, no, you don't hear it. You do not smell it.
Yeah, like does a tree fall in the woods?
Like, I wasn't sure. I mean, I get the reference. I just wasn't sure if you're just fucking around with me because you asked me a question that I have taken seriously, and then I start seeing that shit. I saw that you collect these. I'm like, is that the name of the game? Is there like a prize?
It's about a tinkle and Amanda Hogginkiss. They're think they're cute, but they look like Stegosaurus with cheese kits. I know how it rolls.
My dear Lord. So, yeah, no, I'm sorry. As far as the comic shop, there was a lot of buy, sell, trade. Everything moved that for me, and it's good. Like people bring stuff in a lot, so I have like new stuff. But that's kind of the new deal. I'd say, at least in my experience, the brand new stuff coming out every week, it doesn't hold a candle to the old stuff. People bringing in stuff from the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s, and like whether it's toys or statues or whatever. That's to me, that's where the fun is in it.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's why I like Luke's shop so much because of the toys and like the weird ass action figures.
Yeah.
Like weird stuff. I found like Stargate action figures there. I was like, yes, because you can't find them anywhere else.
Well, like it's so cool in his shop too, because when you walk in there and you're looking around, like I always think there's no way that store showed up yesterday. You can tell it's been there, Yeah,
it's been there for a while. You got some G.I. Joes on the very top shelf that you need a ladder to get to. Like,
yeah,
it's been there.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You asked me what the best collectible I've ever seen? Oh my goodness.
What is one of the best collectibles you've seen?
Oh my goodness. Well, I had somebody bring in Superman number 5. I got a Superman number 5 that came in CGC, so that was pretty cool. Yeah. Boy, I'd really have to think about that because there's so many different things it could be. I mean, so many different directions we could go in. I've seen like signed stuff. Someone had brought in a signed Batman sketch that was. I can't swear that it was Bob Kane, but it looked a lot like him, that kind of thing. Hey, to me, it's always just interesting to see the really, really strange stuff. Somebody had brought in a robot that was like the precursor to Transformers, where they made them out of like the shell cases and stuff from World War II. Wow. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Well, that's like some trench art like stuff. That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't even get that stuff in New York that much.
So, what came first, GoBots or Transformers?
GoBots actually came first, and then Transformers caught them quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then they made GoBots their bitch.
Well, GoBots don't even transform. It's like you hold a GoBot, and it's like, look, it's a robot. Then all you do is go, Mer, now it's a helicopter.
Yeah.
Mer, now it's the robot again. There's no real trying to. And their names were boring as shit too. Like the motorcycle's name was Sidekill. Like what? That's lazy as shit. If his fighting is as lazy as his naming,
Yeah.
They're not going to survive. Sorry, I don't mean to run off at the mouth. When you guys jump in, I don't want to.
No,
Oh.
it's cool. It's cool. So would you ever put apple vinegar on your dick to make it bigger?
Well, I can't.
You are the manager. This is new phenomenal. We just got to talk about for a minute.
I didn't hear what you said.
You said apple vinegar on your dick to make it bigger.
Yeah, when people ask me dumb shit like that, that's when I'm like, go fuck yourself. I'm here to talk about toys and shit. If you don't want to talk about that, I can. But just laying it down for you.
Okay, Dick. We will wait for Lucas to come on, and then we'll ask the question again. But
yeah. Ask Lucas what he thinks.
We'll do. So, do you have any stand-up gigs coming up?
Yeah. Let's see. This Saturday, I'm in White Oaks, just outside of Pittsburgh. Next week, I'm in just outside of Philadelphia in New Hope, Pennsylvania, and then the following weekend it's Hagerstown and Hagerstown and then Pittsburgh again. Yeah.
So what is your comedy show like based around? Like, do you have like certain skits that you do on stage, or is it just kind of like all over the place thing? Like what's it all about?
No. I had spent the last 4 years like out doing like the open mics and doing like the showcase shows and stuff, and literally just building material. I was doing that in Pittsburgh. I did doing it in Baltimore, Washington D.C., and just basically trying to build the material. And the only way to do it, and my experience, is to go out there and try stuff and bomb and save what works and get rid of what doesn't. And I've been doing that for almost 5 years. I released an album that was about an hour material. I released an album that came out literally a week before the pandemic started in 2020. And when that happened, they canceled all the shows that were built around to support the album. So that kind of sucks. But we're slowly but surely getting back there. I guess to answer your question, a lot of it's just personal experience stuff. I managed, a Spencer Gifts for 10 years, just pro wrestling. I mean, and then comics and all that stuff.
Spencer Gifts. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I bet you have.
I can only imagine the weirdos in which you encountered, me being one of them, as the mall rat era of the country club mall.
One thing that was so crazy about that was that, oh my God, there's just so much about it. But you would have people come in and return and shit that you shouldn't return. Like this lady
what
came
is
in.
The weirdest thing you ever had returned?
Oh my God! Well, let's start with a lady that came in and she had a stripper pole that was in a garbage bag. She came in and dumped it out. She's like, "I'm returning this on account of my husband don't think it's hot no more." I'm like, but it doesn't have a box or it doesn't have anything. She goes, "Yeah, we threw the box away. Nobody needs a fucking box." Like, well, we do if you're returning it, right? And and you know what's crazy about Spencer's is I had to give her money back because that's how Spencer's works. You have to give people back whatever they want. At the end of the day, whatever they want, you have to do. That's good to know, though, isn't it? Consider that a public service announcement. You buy something there, and it's whatever reason. You don't even have to have one. You go in there with no receipt, no original packaging, and you slap it down on the counter. You say, "I want my money back, and I want it now." They're going to try to give you a gift card. They're going to try to do this. They're going to try to do that. But at the end of the day, they're going to do, as of 3 years ago when I left there, they're going to do whatever they need to do to get you to leave.
All right. Good to know.
I had a guy there one time, this old dude that showed up, and he's probably about 117 years old. And he came in, and do you remember seeing those little booklets that had like coupons or like Valentine's Day coupons?
Oh, yeah, the lovers coupons.
Yeah. So they take those, and this old guy comes in and he buys something. He takes it off the counter, and I'm like, whatever, $5. You're like, are you kidding me? It's only $5. I'm like, yeah. He goes, for the whole book of them? I'm like, yeah. So I just figure he's a million years old, and isn't dialed in, but he takes them and he's like, "Oh, I don't need a bag," and he pulls them out like he's holding the book of them in his hands, and he walks to the back of the store and he's standing by the stock room, and I like walk back. I'm like, "Sir, can I help you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm just waiting for it to start," and he thought that book of coupons were like cashable in the stock room, like he thought there was like a nudie show in there. And I'm like, I'm looking at this book of coupons and I'm like, yeah, this does seem like a hell of a deal for $5 if you think it's going to happen to you here.
You think that there's a glory hole in the back room of Spencer's?
Well, and what's so nuts about it is like, dude, if that's true, why isn't there a longer line? Like, why am I clocked in? Why aren't I like taking advantage of the discount?
It's like, where's the employees discount for this, damn it?
Yeah, I'm like, sorry, man, that's not how this rolls. You got to go find some. You got to go deal with this yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah, he returned them. He's like, well, you guys are trying to like talk me into buying stuff that I can't even use. Like, well, okay.
So funny.
That's insane.
That's hilarious.
See, I can just imagine like nasty stuff too, though, like people returning like the adult toys that were like used.
All the time,
Yeah,
man.
the adult toys and stuff.
Like,
there.
I had a lady come in one time with something that was the size of my forearm. All right, it was called the G-spot killer, and she took it and
G-spot killer.
she slapped it down on the counter like it was salami, and she looked at me and she said, "I'm bringing this back on account of this shit ain't as strong as I need it to be." I was like, "Oh."
Able to play hide the salami with the G-spot killer.
Oh my God! Like, oh, so yeah, so I had to like give her her green back and then put some hazmat gloves on to dispose of it. I'm like, could you just get it off the counter? Like, I eat lunch here, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that'd be so nasty. Like, I would hope at least that they would have some like sanitary like stuff behind the counter where you can like grab it and like throw it in the trash afterwards.
It just depends on who's working that day. Sometimes everyone was high enough that it was just like bobbing for apples. You'll get it. Yeah, just terrible.
Yes.
What the hell's going on in this picture of this Superman top hat?
Oh, yeah.
What is that about?
The Spencer days were probably by far the most ridiculous, especially whenever the mall used to be like
The place to go.
Yeah, it's not like it is now. There's nobody there. There's no weird mall rats like there used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to avoid them all. Once I stopped getting paid to be there, I decided I would never go back.
Yeah. So how difficult is it to run a comic book store and also be a comedian at the same time and trying to do both paths at once?
I'm pretty lazy, so if it was that hard, I wouldn't be doing either one of them. So it's not, dude. It's not that bad. I mean, the shop's open 2 days a week, and I stand up on the weekends. And it's I'd love to.
2 days a week.
I'm sorry.
Your shop is only open 2 days a week.
Yeah, it's open on Saturdays and Wednesdays because everybody's off Saturday and Wednesday's New Comic Day. I was open 6 days a week for a couple of years, and then I tried it as an experiment and just did the two busy days. And I'm taking in like 95% as much money as if I'm open. People just adapt their schedules and come those days.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it works out pretty nice. I'd love to sit here and be like, oh yeah, I slave away, I do all this stuff. I don't. I just stand around and look busy.
Almost like you need a bigger space at this point.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. It's hard to turn that space down because, see, the place next door is that candle shop.
Yeah, that.
And the word was that, like, I was thinking, well, maybe if they left, then that's not a load-bearing wall. We just cut a hole in it, and then I would have that open room.
Yeah.
But we're still waiting.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe a candle spot over there is like still in business because everybody.
Oh, I know.
Candles.
Yes, I know. And you know what it is they provide candles for, I think, a bunch of different organizations and stuff. They'll have a truck back up there and pick up like 20 boxes of candles. I'm like, each one of those damn things are like $8. And they're killing it.
That's crazy.
And it's like that country primitive style. Like,
Yeah.
Like
stuff.
Are they good candles at least?
Yeah, it's just a straight up candle store.
Yeah, that's all it is that they don't. I'm not criticizing. It's not very diversified. It's just candles, and
It's just like
my
normal candles.
my
They
whole
smell good. They smell delicious. But
my issue with it, and this is a first world problem for sure, is that when I was 12 years old, I walked into a comic shop for the first time, and you know that smell of comics. Like I just loved it, and I wanted to have my own shop, and now I do. And every morning I walk in, and it smells like fucking cinnamon or vanilla, and I'm like.
it doesn't smell like old
It
books.
doesn't
at
smell
all.
like old paper. Son of a
Yeah,
bitch.
yeah, like this is the smell that the people who made fun of me smelled like when I went to high school. Like I wanted to smell nerdy. You know?
Let me smell. Like, no, just go over to her and be like, I need a comic book smelling candle, please.
That would be awesome if they did that.
And
You know what
then-
it smells like? It smells like minimum wage defeat. So if you can put that together, you'll get it. It's so great.
That would be a
That
hit.
scent.
Spencer special.
Are you guys a fan of Spider-Gwen?
No, I am. Yeah.
Cool. You hear that there's this live-action Spider-Gwen movie happening with Blake Blossom?
Spider Boy?
No, it's Spider-Gwen.
Oh, Spidey Pool.
Spidey Pool with XXX. It's
Ew.
it's gonna be but
Yeah.
it's gonna be one of the greatest porn parodies of all time, man. It's gonna be awesome.
But see, this is the stuff that I was talking about last time with that Misty girl. She did the Spider Babe thing
Mhm.
back in the day.
Yeah. But this is actually going to be based on a comic book storyline, and it's doing two things that mainstream has not done yet.
Hey, I got to ask you a question.
Spider-Man and
Blind
Deadpool
Adam.
teaming up.
Can I ask you a question?
The beautiful and talented
Yeah.
Blake Blossom playing Spider-Gwen. It's going to be epic, yo.
What's your question?
All right, Blind Adam, I'm assuming that you're not sensitive about being blind since your name is fucking Blind Adam. Is that fair?
Yeah. It's part of the
Okay,
gimmick.
I gotta ask you, man, do you like Ray Charles, that shit for that piano behind you, or do you not play it?
I don't know how to play the piano.
That's badass. That
I was just told that blind people were supposed to be good at music, so I said, fuck it, use the piano.
Listen, the other day I was at
But I learned a lot of
Flea
stuff from
market.
Ray Charles.
I was at the Queen City Flea Market, okay, and I found this CGC. What was it?
I don't know. I think it might have been his that we bought.
Was the Kung Fu one?
It was a swamp something. I can't remember. Yeah, it was a CGC rated one that was just like laying around. It was $25.
Yep, that's me.
Yeah, and I sent Adam a picture of it, and he was like, "What's in the picture?" And I was like, "Oh fuck." I was like,
I had to remind people. My own mother does that. She went to vacation last week, and she sent me like 2 pictures.
yeah, because I was like,
That's
"Is
cool,
this
Mom.
a good price?" And he was like, "What's in the picture?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, oh, God."
So Tate, is there any like new comic releases that are coming out that you're excited about seeing?
No, not at all. Not one of them.
You stalk me.
Dude, I couldn't be more serious. they're slowly flushing down the comic book industry down the drain. Marvel, has their whole situation, but DC left Diamond Distribution. So to get DC comics like Batman and Superman and Flash and Wonder Woman, they got to be shipped from across the whole country, and it's all a giant cash grabbing pain in the ass. And I hope that not to sound so grim or grim, but I hope there's a tangible comic book industry that even exists in 5 years. Like you go back and look at the stuff in the 70s,
Amazon stop.
and there's so much more. I don't know. There's just so much more to it. Now it's a copy of Batman's $5, $4.99 a copy, and you get, I don't know, just my opinion of doing it, but there's really good. I guess I should clarify and say there's a ton of really good stuff coming out, but it's from the independent people. It's from the folks at Image and IDW. Like, not to say Marvel doesn't have anything good or DC, but it's definitely, in my opinion, that's not where the answers are. You go into Image and there's some really good stuff there.
Excuse me, Ted. As a shop owner, how do you feel about speculation and speculators?
Well, what do you mean exactly? I mean, that covers a lot of ground. What do you mean specifically?
People who just go in the shop and just pick out all the stuff they think is going to be hot right on release day and stuff of that nature.
To me, it's like, if that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. I mean, I've been looking at this stuff for 35 years, and I have my finger on the pulse about as much as I think anybody would, if for no other reason than all the advanced information I get about what's coming. And I've made a million mistakes when I try to do that. Like, if you're spending money and trying to speculate, that can be a very expensive and costly game to play. If someone wants to do it, I will tell you this, that I had to have a sign on my shop for about 3 months, because every time, like, when a new show would drop, Disney Plus dropped them on Wednesday mornings or whatever. When a new show would drop, if something happened on that show that spiked a regular $2 book to go up, when I'd get to my shop Wednesday, there would be guys waiting for me to open the door and run in there and try to grab them. It's like, I haven't even had a chance to reprice anything. So I had a sign that said, due to the constant fluctuation of the back issue market, all back issue purchases are subject to a spot price check at the register, because I can't keep up with 50,000 books.
Yeah.
And, I would have guys running up there with books that are marked for $2, and an hour and a half earlier, the new Falcon show made, Sam Wilson's first appearance go from $3 to $53. And these guys are trying to take advantage of that. And it's always the people that never come and support your shop. It's the people that roll in there and try to get a quick cash grab.
Yeah.
So for those people, I don't really have any respect for. But at the same time, if you can make a few bucks at it, and you can use your knowledge about what's going on to predict books that are going to go up, and you want to buy them for speculation, once you come in and get it, what you do with it's your business. I don't really have an opinion.
That's cool. Yes, I know some shop owners hate it. Some shop owners can give two craps.
I think it that kind of whole thing plays into that hypebeast market too, like with the sneakers and the new drops of Nike, or a new Supreme sweater coming out. Like, you have these people that are lining up to get it at retail price, and then 20 minutes later they're flipping it on eBay for 5 times what it's worth.
Yeah, it's almost scalping situation.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree with that more. And that definitely happens. I'll tell you, it goes a step further than that. There was some guys, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 months back, some guys that when the story ultimately came out, we find out these guys had a box of 200 copies of, and I don't recall what it was. Let's just say it was Dark Hawk #1. But it's a book that is a 3 for $1 bin book, and they found a box where they had 200 and some odd copies of it. So they had 3 or 4 different eBay accounts. They each put that book up on eBay separately, and then they each bid the shit out of it and got it up to $500, even though they're buying it from each other, so it doesn't cost them any money. And then once it popped for $300, $400, $500, $600, now all of a sudden everybody that doesn't really know what they're looking at, it's oh my God, these are worth crazy money. And once it started that, they started throwing all their copies up and popping them at buy it now for $200, and they end up selling a shitload of these books that are worthless. And on one hand, I'm that's kind of a scam job, but on the other hand, they're also taking advantage of these assholes that are trying to roll in here and just make a quick buck and don't actually know anything about it.
Yeah.
I guess that's ultimately where my biggest issue is. I don't care if you're a speculator, do that. If you know about this stuff, that's awesome. But if you're trying to replace your knowledge with just you have money and going in and trying to buy a million copies of something, I'm not down with that. But to each his own.
Like I said, I always when I'm doing it with other people's shops, I always try to leave copies on the shelf for other people. It's like I only need
Right.
2. I don't need 10.
Well, my shop is so small and we're in such a small area that I order pretty close to the vest. I usually don't have more than a few extra copies. And unless you're a subscriber and you tell me you need more, I don't sell more than 1 copy of anything to anyone on the new books, just so everybody has a shot at it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Like if I like a perfect example is I got like 4 copies of Thor and I only had 1 guy that buys it. So I ended up having 3 extra copies. This guy came in and said he'd buy all 3. And I'm like, I'll sell you 1. And if you want to come in this time next week when the book's a week old, I'll sell you the other 2 if they're still here. I can't risk somebody coming in and wanting something and not there because some guy wanted 3 of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's fair.
So collectively, like, how do you guys feel about like the comic book industry and like the fashion industry mixing together? Like, I was recently looking at some stuff where Nike is coming out with like Marvel branded shoes and they're going for like astronomical prices, and like right off the bat, like retail value of them is like $400. Do you think that's just a money grab from these companies?
Yeah, because you put Marvel on anything, like, you know, you could make freaking toilet paper X Marvel and people would still buy that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
Like,
I feel like it's just a money grab. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's a smart money grab with all the sneakerheads.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's not for sure. They the thing too, I think, is they're seeing comic books for so long was just this little niche thing. When I was in high school, like you wouldn't want people knowing you were into it outside of your little friend base because it was definitely like a death sentence in terms of like any type of popularity or you know. So then all of a sudden you have this thing where all of a sudden it blows up and everybody wants to be in on it because of the movies and stuff. And I mean, there's books that just are going for astronomical money. I sold at a Hulk 181, which is the first appearance of Wolverine. I sold a copy of that book at my shop 6 years ago for $900, and that copy in that condition right this moment goes for $10,000.
Oh my! Wow.
It's insanity, and everybody's looking for it. You just don't know what the next thing is. But just to get to your point about the sneakers and stuff or the tennis shoes, it's like they're doing what they call manufactured scarcity. It's like, well, okay, we got all these people that want to do this. How many copies of Fantastic Four #1 are there from 1962? Not very many. They're really, really expensive. What can we do to make people feel like they're getting something that no one else can have? So they purposely make very few of it as a variant, and they manufacture this scarcity. The problem is then they got to people in the future are going to want them that bad. Like those shoes.
Well, I feel like that's what Nintendo did with like the Switch when it came out. Like they knew it was going to have a shit ton of people buying it, but they only released a certain amount to create the hype around it.
Yeah.
And then it drags the price all the way up.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, Autumn, to your point earlier, Autumn, I went up a few years back whenever that Nintendo Classic came out. Remember like the little mini one?
Yep.
They had that up at GameStop and they were waiting to open, and I went up there to get one, and there were all these people sitting outside the thing. And I like looked around, and one of them said to me, this lady goes, well, they only have 12 and there's already 12 people here waiting. I'm like, okay, like who fucking cares about that? You're waiting, aren't you? There isn't a line in here like that. And everybody's getting all uncomfortable, like what's going to happen? And I mean, I wasn't going to fight people over that, but I let them believe that I was prepared to for a while just because it was fun, But they all sold it. I knew the guy that was running the place, and he said every single person that came in there bought it, turned around and flipped it online for 3 times as much. Mm-hmm. And it's like on one hand, you want to be like, hey, fuck those people. And on the other hand, it's like right before Christmas, and they need money, and sometimes you do what you got to do,
Yeah.
So I don't know who we blame.
Yeah.
So, hey, Adam, it's Lucas.
Fives in the last like 3 or 4 months.
What's that?
Look at PlayStation 5s the last.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Going for like 1,000 on eBay right now.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Last time I checked.
Hey, Adam, it's Lucas. How's it going, brother?
Hey, what's brother Lucas? We're able to
Hey,
make.
if you, I know y'all talk about collectibles and sneaks, you know how to freaking step in, man. So here's the crazy thing, right? And people are like, I understand your perspective on the manufactured, you know, rareness of certain sneaks, but it actually really started like maybe 20 years ago with
Really?
a lot of people, yeah, from Japan. There was like a real weird trend where they just like wanted American products, and not just American products. They wanted 80 stuff particularly, right? So they were just grabbing like old Jordans and everything, and then as they are grabbing more Jordans because eBay was really hot for a while, and they're like, oh, I can freaking just go on freaking eBay, and as people are seeing these prices, now they're like, oh crap, there is some money in that, and it was still hitting hot over there, but just within the last couple of years, now people are picking up like, okay, maybe I should keep some of these Jordans and have cases for them, right? 'Cause that's that whole
Yeah.
other community and culture, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
But and that's one thing. That's like third party seller to third party seller. But where it really gets big and where it's going to get spoiled is once the companies start messing around and start getting into it. Because like we were talking about, hey, Nike's only selling like 500 this pair,
Well,
300 this
including
pair, and
that
everything.
graphics
That's
cards.
yeah,
Like
that's where where it spoils up.
they gave the
And,
stores a certain deal on them, and then the stores raised the price of their graphics cards when they found out that they didn't have that many coming out. And then people were like, "Holy shit, I can't afford it now!" And they were waiting for that release. And
Yeah.
so, like, even when major companies start doing it, like, I think it started. There has to be some sort of law where, like, it has to be a fair playing field when that happens. When it comes to big corporations doing it.
See, I don't think it does because I think sometimes the market just freaking pans itself out, right? Like, okay, you keep making it rare, and then pretty soon I'm just not going to care about it, right? So, for instance,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make
PlayStation,
it so
yeah,
rare, you're just gonna. It's like
yeah,
us trying to
PlayStation,
find
right?
a pack of Pokemon cards at Walmart. Like
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
almost
I haven't been
impossible.
able to find them
So
for months.
Yeah.
yes, so let me jump on that. Let me get to that real quick. So PlayStation 5 has been playing a dangerous game. We're like, oh, and everybody's been searching for it. People were paying $1,000 for it. Well, guess what happened? A lot of people instead of freaking saying, oh, let me wait for the PS5, they just turned to Xbox and they found out that it was a lot better. For the platform, for the subscriptions, for the games. Xbox has been buying up all the freaking games right now. Now, when it comes to the Walmart stuff, it's not just the Pokemon stuff. It's the sports cards as
Sports
well. Where,
cards.
yeah, so what happened was a lot of the I forget the name of the company. I think it's like PNG or PNJ or whatever it's called. They were holding back cards so they can release it slowly. Well, now that people are going back to work, right? They don't have the time to freaking try and hunt down that stuff. They don't have enough money, right? Because the money that I was normally saving off of gas and bus transportation, I was using on cards. Well, now I don't have that anymore. So just this couple months, every time I go to Walmart or every time I go to Target, just shelves just full of product, not from 2022, from 2021 and 2020. That
Yeah.
means that those motherfuckers were holding on to that shit,
Yeah.
for no
Well, and they
fucking
get to
reason.
and in the case of comics, they get to the point where they produce so much of it because they start thinking that it's going to last forever. They produce a ton of it, and then all of a sudden they're shocked when nobody wants it. Like, Walmart. To me, there's something special about like the collecting, whether you're collecting shoes or pops or whatever. There is like this core base group of people that are all about it and have been. And then there's people that are learning about it and they're getting in on it. But then you have the folks that are in it for the wrong reasons, and those are the ones that will shake off like fleas off of a dog when things start to go south. And so you have those cards, for example, like at Walmart. Well, Walmart has all those cards. Well, nobody's buying them because the people that were into this before this shit started didn't buy them at Walmart anyway.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
the folks that did are now getting out of it because to them it's nothing more than a fad or a phase. They're not really big into it. And it's like when you go to Walmart and see they have pop figures. Like, you fucking kidding me? Really? Like, they're all bent up because you can't run a big, giant, big box store with the general public walking by knocking shit over and it be in any kind of decent condition.
Yeah.
And
And it's always like the ones that nobody wants.
sure,
Yeah, I'm like,
because
I
half
go
the time
there
it's
and I'm
always
like,
a
oh,
whole
maybe I'll find something cool, and it's just not anything
Yeah.
that anybody wants.
I
Like,
think they
I'd
might
rather
have-
go to Books A Million and look at their wall of,
Sure.
and be like,
Yeah.
let me get a couple cool ones, or let me get some rare ones.
Well, FYE used to be a good place to get them too, but then they shut down. So
Yeah,
Well,
FYE.
I think the point I try to get across, and I don't have a big enough microphone for it, but like FYE, they carried them. They order from Diamond. They order them the same place that I ordered them. But
Really?
their rent was $8,600 a month to be in the mall. Somebody's paying for that. Like somebody's paying for that, and they mark all their stuff up. My rent is $400 a month, and I don't have any employees. So when I order those pop figures, I think a lot of people think, well, it'll be more expensive because it's like local. In reality, I'm selling them for $1 or $2 under retail because I don't have to pay $9,000 in rent this month.
yeah,
And it's hard to get that message out to people. I probably have 75 pops at my store right now, and some of them are 10 or 12 or $15, and some of them are 40 and 50 and $60.
Well, hold on. So hold on. Let's. In fact, that's one of the things I was going to talk about during the comic stuff. Panini is coming out with these pops. Have you seen these fucking things, man? Let's see. Let me
No,
see.
I haven't.
There we go. These fucking things.
What is that? Like a card in there too?
See, that's what I don't think so. It doesn't say it in the solicit, but it does. It just says, "Hey, LaMelo Ball." There's a Giannis Antetokounmpo. There's a Zion Williams. There's all types of crazy shit. And this is in yes, Luka
So
Doncic.
is the figure is the card or whatever the picture is big and the figure's normal size, or is the figure like a keychain in a box that's a normal size?
That's the question. Who fucking
Stand
knows?
or something.
Who fuck knows? Who knows? I don't. I don't know.
So are any of you guys into the pop figures?
I am.
Okay.
Me.
Okay, cool. No. I grew up on like the Spawn stuff, and it was always about points of articulation. And I didn't mind the pop figures, but I started going towards those reaction figures because they look like the Kenner Star Wars figures
Yeah.
from
Yeah,
the
they're nice
80s.
too.
I really dig those. That's probably my primary thing. Like I got 3 from Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Turbo.
nice.
I really like the big ones. Like the big ones are definitely a thing.
Right now, I'm getting into the ad characters like this, like the McDonald's characters, which I can't believe they made a pop of.
No, I know. I have
I got this as a gift, and now I'm collecting the whole. I'm getting the whole set. I'm getting the Grimace and Ronald McDonald.
nice.
They have like 5 different variants of the McNugget characters.
Yes, I love
I was
that.
like, ah. And then I
I
saw
got-
that they had a Cocoa Pebbles 2 set.
I got a George and Wheat Jefferson.
These are like crack cocaine, man.
Yeah, I try to grab the ones. I got a George and Wheezy Jefferson one. I've
Maybe
got
I did not see that yet.
I got that. I got Rick James. I've got Cam from Modern Family.
I
Some
would kill
really,
for an
like-
Archie Bunker.
There we go.
Wow.
Wait, did they make an art? Did they do anything from Archie Bunker yet? Because that would be dope.
Yeah, I don't want a Funko Pop. I want like a freaking like a. You know what? Like, so I got this fat bastard, fucking speaking down. You pull the fucking string. He's supposed to.
Yeah.
I would love an
That's
Archie
awesome
Bunker. One.
sauce.
So you need so you want an Archie Bunker that you can pull to make like racial or ethnic slurs.
Yes.
It's gotta be sitting on the couch though too.
Oh, dude, that'd be a great channel. Like just you standing there pulling it, and then based on what you're saying, being pissed off.
Don't give me ideas. I'll go on TikTok and do that shit.
And then at the end of it, you destroy the doll in a creative way.
Oh no! So here's an even better idea. You get an Archie Bunker one, and then you get a George Jefferson one. You can just have them talking back and forth.
Yeah, that'd be
That
fun.
would be sweet.
Oh no! And then you got it. Then of course, if you're gonna do that, you got to get the maid. What's her name?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. She's
Florida?
on 227. I was watching 227 the other day. It was on Hulu or Netflix or something. I was like, that show was ahead of its time. Like I was watching like 3 episodes. I'm like, damn, they were talking about shit that nobody was talking about in 1986.
Mhm.
Okay, so speaking of that, like on the lines of that, do you actually think that The Simpsons predicts the future?
No, but I do. I don't think that at all. I think that if you have enough material, you're going to pick up patterns and you're going to notice like coincidences more. The show's been on for 34 fucking years. I
Yeah.
gotta believe there's gonna be a handful of shit that they say that can be loosely translated over. It's like they say the SNL curse, the cast members of SNL, it's a curse because so many of them have died. Guess what? The show's been on for 50 fucking years.
Of course, being like,
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be, I mean, I think they said something like there's been like 900 cast members. Yeah, odds are one of them are going to have been murdered. A couple of them are going to die of a drug overdose. Somebody's going to get cancer. Like, that shit's going to happen.
right?
Do you believe in the Mandela effect?
The Mandela effect. I mean, it's interesting. I'm probably not that much fun because I don't buy into a lot of that stuff. Like I probably do one of those ghost casts, and I'm just on there like shitting all over it, and then I'm realizing that I'm hurting her feelings. So I'm like, no, maybe it's real. I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think about certain stuff, and I'm like, that damn old ass Monopoly guy had a monocle on his fucking eye, and now he doesn't. And what planet was I on whenever I realized, like, he had a
The children's book that we would read in school,
the Bernstein
Bears.
Yeah, Bernstein Bears.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, are you saying that he never had a monocle ever?
No, that's what they're saying. He never had
He
a
always had
monocle.
he had a fucking monocle, yo.
Yeah, like don't you
I remember that the one I could
having
see.
a monocle? on
'Cause
his
I remember being a kid whenever McDonald's did the Monopoly McDonald's game, and like he peeled it off and like hit boardwalk, and he like opened his eyes and the monocle like spun and then fell on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, but apparently he never had one, and I was like, "You're lying to me."
Yeah, man,
Unless
I'd love to say that there's some type
I
of
was
like
literally just watching that on YouTube about the monocle.
Yeah.
maybe there's mythical forces at work, but I think it's a lot better chance that we were all just drunk or high.
Yeah.
Or both.
So,
But
That stuff does like play with your mind though when you think about certain things and you're like,
sure.
remember it like this, and then they're like, no, it was definitely.
yeah,
that.
because they had the one that was like Looney Tunes, and like
I don't ever remember that being spelled with a U.
yeah, like it was T.
I always remember that. It was always two O's.
S,
Yeah.
but it's actually just TUNES too.
I collect the 1970s Pepsi glasses, and I could have sworn it was always spelled with two O's when I was able
Exactly. Like I could have sworn that it had like two O's in it.
But do you think that it could be just marketing changes that they try to slide into these things that
Probably.
we don't
Possibly.
realize?
They're like,
Yeah.
we could change this a little bit. Nobody will know.
We're
Sure.
in a parallel universe, and this is Earth 2 now, bitches. That's what it is.
Yeah. You know, I read something not too long ago, and it said that like when you try to think back of like nostalgically about your favorite decade, like I was very much a child of the '80s and a teenager of the '90s, and they're like when you think back to like the '80s and you look at it through these rose-colored lenses, all you're remembering is the advertising, and it's think about it, all you remember is the shit they were putting in front of your face on cartoons, on commercials, with toys, with movies, with TV shows, with
It was a
sports.
lot back in the 80s.
You know what I'm saying? But like that's the decade when I didn't have any bills, didn't have any real worries, and I was full-time consuming the culture. And it's like, yeah, they were great, but that's what I remember. I don't remember the Iran-Contra hearings. I don't remember, just boring shit with, like. And now it's like somebody's like, oh no, remember the 2010s were great. 2010s fucking sucked. I'm working my ass off every single day.
Yeah, I feel that way too.
And sometimes it's like whenever you remember stuff, it's like you're looking at yourself doing it. It's not like through your own eyes, but you're watching
Like an
yourself.
outside view. Like,
Yeah. Which I always thought was really weird. It's like you can never see, you're watching yourself do said
Well,
thing.
sometimes when Ezra's in the yard playing, like I grew up here in this house and in this yard. So when I see him doing certain things, I remember like envisioning myself doing those same exact things in that exact area in this yard, and it freaks me out. And I'm like, whoa.
Like that when I go to my brother's house, who bought the house after my grandma passed.
Yeah,
it's the house I grew up at. The same. There's certain spots in the house or in the yards I can remember everything I did as a kid. And it does feel creepy sometimes.
Yeah. I went to my grandmother's house and I'm sitting on the couch watching the same episode of the Brady Bunch that I was watching in 1984. And so that just floods back the memories for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Like when Sammy Brady was hot.
See, I really like Jan with that black wig. Remember that? The new Jan Brady?
Yeah, that's true.
We're going down the rabbit hole here, folks. I'm sorry.
I just every time I hear Brady Bunch, I keep thinking of just the girl going, Marsha, 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 and that's all I can remember. And then like, what was it? A football like hit her in the nose or something like that?
Yeah. Well, the Brady Bunch mom always reminded me of my grandma, like with the haircut. She had like the short bob situation going on.
The one thing that stands out for me, like he was talking about like the television and stuff when he was younger, the things that stand out for me is like, I don't know if you guys remember this, but Nick at Night.
Oh
yeah.
I Love Lucy and like, all of those shows on, like I would stay up extra late and watch that stuff and I ate it up. I loved it. Like the Wonder Years was on there and
yeah, man. Roseanne, they like it got newer as it went, but yeah.
I remember back when it first started, it was all shows in the 50s and 60s. You had I Love Lucy, The Honeymooners, the 50s Superman, Get Smart. And then it's getting like older and older.
In it? What's that called? Happy Days.
Happy Days.
Yeah,
I love the shit out of Happy Days.
Me too, man.
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
I was staying up at night watching the X-Files. Like my mom was like, "Come on, you can come watch it with me." Because I was like, probably 6, 7 years old at the time, like trying to watch X-Files, and it came on like super late at night.
Yeah.
Like, can I stay up and watch this creepy ass show?
What got me interested in sci-fi and stuff was watching Stargate with my mom. That's what we would watch all the time.
Oh, yeah. Well, Stargate is Stargate.
Yeah.
You can never go wrong with Stargate. That was before its time, too.
That's the best thing Canada ever produced.
See, now I'm going to put it right behind Brett the Hitman Hart, the Hart family. I go with them.
Yeah, and the Harts.
I get it. Hey, I got to say that confession, I didn't realize this was video. I thought this was just audio. So you guys look like you got this cool ass place to be. I'm like literally holding my phone, and every time I lean in, I'm like, I got this 5 head. Like you could show me a Star Wars movie in high definition on my forehead. You see that?
Nice.
That's crazy. My forehead's smoother than the theaters up at the mall. Yeah. That's
so
bad.
Who were some of your favorite wrestlers growing up?
Well, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Roddy Piper.
Yeah, there's no. So when you grow up during the time that we grew up, there's no fucking favorite wrestler. That's the craziest question to ask, Blind. That whole age, all you gotta say is, I grew up during the 80s, bitch. And that's all you got to say, man. During the real I grew up during WWF. That's all you got to say.
I didn't become a fan of about 91, 92, so.
Say what now?
See, I was aware of what it was in WrestleMania 2. I was over at the video store. When WrestleMania 2 hit video stores, my brother and I rented it, and then I found out this was something that happened and existed, and then we'd watch it on TV every week. And I was kind of dialed into it probably around 84, 85. And then from there, I mean, obviously huge Hulk Hogan guy when I was younger, and then it became Ric Flair and, Terry Funk and, like I said, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, the Hart Foundation, the British Bulldogs, Roddy Piper, Jimmy Snuka, Andre, Bundy, all those guys.
My favorite was Sting.
Yeah.
Favorite wrestler, and also Mankind. I loved him.
Oh yeah.
Oh, see, Mankind. Those guys were like laters. Those were like 90s, 2000s guys. You're just a young guy if you run into those guys. Shit. I remember fucking waking up on Saturday morning watching the WWF
Amazon
freaking
style.
WrestleMania show. Remember that shit?
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny?
I can remember.
I was on in 2007. I was on a show and I wrestled Kevin Nash, and he came in. I mean, he is a full head taller than I am, and I'm like legitimately
He's like
6'.
7 feet, isn't he?
Yeah, it's scary, crazy how big
Yeah.
this guy is. He came in and could not have been. He was just the coolest guy in the world, and I was sitting there like it was so surreal. We get out there and we're in this match, and obviously he's calling it. I'm doing whatever he says. He's like, throw a left, and I'm left-handed. So I give him one, and he like sways his head back. I hit him a second time. He does it again. He goes, pull back, give me a big one. I give him this big punch, and he just takes this huge bump on the ground. And on the video, you see me just stand there looking down at him because it's so surreal. I'm like, 3 years ago, I was watching you powerbomb Eric Bischoff off on pay-per-view, and now I'm in the ring with you, and I don't know. I felt like such a fraud.
Yeah. You just
All
asked
right,
me
so
to
now you
knock you in the face. And
more idea for Autumn South for a WrestlePornia.
Wrestle porn? Oh, wait, what? WrestlePornia?
Oh yeah.
So we're talking about
two
adult wrestling, like
hell yeah.
Listen, I know nothing about wrestling.
You ain't,
Starring Rowdy
you ain't gotta know
Roddy
nothing.
Piper.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some like UFC like fighting.
Two
kind of
two people
situation, but
two people enter. Here you go. Two people enter the ring. One person comes out. That's all.
We can like
Oh,
give it a little bit of like Red Room vibe. People in that
There's
comic
like
book
a
Red
whole-
Room by Ed Piskor.
Yeah, wrestling.
Combine that
Well,
with
something I've
wrestling
been pitching
porn,
is
I think
like
what other stuff
Jackass.
is
Hold up, Adam. Go ahead.
Like
Where
what?
is-
Just like, naked girls climbing on ladders and just like elbow.
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
into
yeah,
the
yeah.
ground, like,
Hell
what?
yeah.
Excellent.
well, we could just do like the strip matches, but they actually get naked instead of just bra and panties.
You don't have to get absolutely naked or
I
something
feel
like
like that would be a painful experience.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. You know what the
Oh.
worst thing in the world is having a ladder match or a tables, ladders, and chairs or a barbed wire match and not having any clothes.
Yeah.
that. The best reality show that I ever saw was WWF used to have a reality show on MTV where they would have tryouts.
Yeah,
And
tough enough.
and they showed like what it really takes. They had the guys working out, freaking like running through just to get in shape, just to run around the freaking ring.
Yeah.
And and just hey, you got to get the fucking technique down. You got to make it, look good enough because otherwise nobody's gonna fucking watch it. I really appreciated that show. Now because you could say, hey, well, it's scripted and everything, but yeah, man, there's some actual fucking work that goes into
When
what
when I first started training down at the House of Pain, if there was 7 or 8 of us, they would have a drill that everybody would do, and none of us could stop until somebody threw up. So that's when it stopped. Like, and however long that took, it's like shit. I was like, well, damn, I can probably throw up. Let me eat before I get there. That way we get.
Somebody just throw up so we can.
Hey, guys, I'm having a great time, and I'm really sorry. I had an hour carved out here. I got some other obligations I got to go do, but I
Okay.
really appreciate you having
It was
me
a
on.
blast having you on. Where can my audience find you online?
Just at Tate Griffin, TateGriffen. Facebook.com/Elite Pro Universe for live pro wrestling shows. We have one coming up here the 25th, Friday the 25th here in Short Gap, West Virginia. And then Facebook.com/Calling All Heroes Comics for the shop. And then Facebook.com/Tate Griffin Comedy. Twitter's Tate Griffin Comedy for just my latest stand-up dates and things. Yeah, and I appreciate it very much.
All right.
Awesome.
You have an open invitation. Just maybe once a month or something. Have you come on?
Okay, thanks so much, guys. I really had a good time. And please let me come back one time. It's a really good time.
We will. We will.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks so much. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, Tate. That was Tate Griffin, an amazing.
Yes,
individual.
he's really crying.
All right, you guys. That's the end for me too. I
know you've had a crazy week, and I know you guys are still unpacking your new house.
Yeah, you look like you got some evil stuff to do. You up there petting your cat and everything up there.
Yeah.
That is
As always,
skinless
Autumn,
cat.
love you. Thank
That
you
is
for
a
being a
skinless
part of the
cat, like
show.
Dr. Evil. Awesome.
She's
The manager,
hairless and
Lucky
adorable. Look,
tomorrow.
You know me, man. I always love hairless pussies. It's awesome.
she's creepy. She's like
Creepy.
chicken breast, I guess. She looks like a nutsack, is what she really looks like.
Okay.
She does. Like,
Hey, see, that's why I'm thinking about getting that regeneration because there's a regeneration for old balls.
my newest addition.
That's a Chihuahua. Is he wearing a bow tie or is that a leash? Oh, okay, it's a leash.
There's her shirt says extra salty.
That can mean many a thing. I'm not sure what you're going for.
She's extra salty.
She almost looks like a toy because she doesn't move.
No, she doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, your pets are well behaved.
Yeah, she's
Would you?
very.
I think they decided that still when you said, "Hey, this one looks like a turkey," they was like, "Oh shit, she's getting ready to eat us." Oh shit. Oh, don't move. Don't make no sudden movements. Mama might get hungry. Oh shit.
All right, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off because
Appreciate
I
you
have
stopping by,
to
Autumn.
attend to small children and do other things. It's been a crazy week because I've been moving into my new house. Hopefully,
Nice.
by
Congratulations.
next week we'll have.
Mabatos on the new house.
Yeah, we have. I'm in my living room right now, but we have a big office downstairs that we're gonna make into like our streaming situation. So hopefully by next week we'll have all that set up. So
Yeah, she's gonna get the black and gray room down there with the red bulbs and the strip club, the strip pole bar and everything. Just make sure you don't get it from Spencer, or do get it from Spencer since they apparently let you return that shit.
Don't get it from Spencer. I do want a stripper pole though. Like I have enough room in my would it be weird if I had one just like directly in my living room? Probably.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, because you can't just have people walk in and like, oh shit, what the fuck's about to happen? You gotta freaking entice them in and then have them go too far, and you're like, oh shit, I've been in here too long because I'm already seeing too much into this person's life and shit. What the fuck is getting ready to happen? I mean, so
Yeah,
if you go,
we put the stripper pole in the basement.
right? Because here's what you gotta have. You just gotta have this one empty room, stripper pole, bam, pineapple in the corner, bam, and little paddle on the wall, and that's all they see. And it's got to be like red lighting. And they walk in, and you got to make them think, oh shit, what the fuck have I walked in on? And then when they turn to freaking walk out the door, that's when you got to hear the ding 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 music freaking to pop on them, and then like, oh shit. Let me let me pull up my phone and call the cops, and then
Not like a big like X with the things
exactly.
on it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Why is my camera? Oh no.
I bumped the thing.
All right. Well, my camera's screwed up, so I guess that is my
That's
official.
awesome. That's official. Get out of here. Do it.
All right. Take care, guys. Have a great week. We'll be in touch. Love you guys.
Of
Check out all the
course.
South and all the spots where she's on the internet.
All right. See you guys later. Love you. Talk
Love
to
you
you
too.
later.
As always, just fun. As always, hanging out with Autumn South and the folks that you have on there. So, are you ready to get into some comics?
Yes, I am, sir.
All right. Let's get on. Let's see. I wonder. What's interesting is I was just doing a whatnot show right before I got on here.
Yeah. How'd it go?
It was interesting because I'm still trying to figure everything out, and
They're still having technical issues up in there. Lucas? Did I just lose? Did Lucas just freeze? He just,
I
muted
froze. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I didn't hear your question because I was frozen and everything.
All right,
So,
so what now? Still having all the technical issues that Brian's always talking about?
see, I'm not tracking what issues he was exactly talking about. I do remember. I think one of the issues was regarding pay. I think that was one of the issues. But I just sold my first stuff on when was that? On fucking Saturday or Sunday or something like
Is that
that.
when you go to fill up the box?
Yeah, and but I haven't gotten paid yet, which so what that's kind of crazy, yeah, because I already sent stuff out. So that's weird. Like it should be, hey,
That's
as soon as I
interesting.
send as soon as I send stuff out, I should be getting freaking paid, right? Don't freaking have me send shit out and I'm not getting paid because you know, fuck, right? Because then now I don't have the I don't have a motivation to keep putting my best stuff up if I'm waiting and wondering where the fuck my shit is. That's that's just what it is. I'll just freaking keep selling crap, send that shit out, and then hope I get paid. I'm not gonna put out my good shit and just send that shit out and hope
Yeah,
I get paid
exactly.
one day. You know what I mean? But luckily, that is what it is. It did help me clear up a little bit of room. And
Nice.
I'm hoping to do that as well. A little bit later. Let's see. Let's see how many books did I sell. I just sold today. I just sold 3 books, and that was within like the half an hour right before I jumped on here. But let's get into some actual stuff so we can actually go to bed. See
Yep.
if I can. All right, here we go. All right. So the first thing that I have up is not necessarily a comic. It is the Back to the Future time machine, the DeLorean. It's like an actual little toy car,
Okay.
and it has light up wheels and like light up lights.
Nice.
Uh, I don't know what to say about this, but I'm definitely gonna have to get myself one. I think it's like about $27 or something like that. It's not too
That's not
much.
that bad.
Yeah. But yeah, that one's on FOC this week. Then from DC, the Sandman Universe Nightmare #1. There is a Jenny Frizen with Death on the cover, and it looks
Yeah,
damn
that's the
good.
one that I already got my notes to email you quantity before Sunday.
Yeah, it's yeah. The only thing is 1/100, man. It's gonna be it's gonna be expensive now, unless I can get somebody else to chip in on the other ones on the lower ratios. It's gonna be kind of I think it might be kind of expensive. But let's see. Then the Funko Pop Prisms. Those are coming up. The Luka Doncic, the Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Zion Williamson by Panini Prism. Then there's a new thing or a new comic by Dark Horse Comics called Breakout #1
Yep.
by Zach Kaplan. Don't know quite what it's about, but okay. Then the last Ronin, the very last issue. I think
Issue
there's
number
only
5.
yes, sir.
Uh,
And what's interesting is I forget the name of the little girl, but it's April O'Neil's daughter.
I forget the exact name, but I think they're calling
Yeah,
for Shadow.
I don't know, but she is in a costume on the cover. So I don't know whether she gets a code name or what, but her first appearance, I believe, was in one or was it 2? I forget
It
which
was
one it
2.
was. It was 2. Okay. So yep,
I have
she's
to
on
go
the
back and
cover.
reread the first 4 issues though.
Yeah.
You know, it's I'm excited for this, and B, the delays is what killed this on the spec market, unfortunately.
I don't think so, man. I think it was just that once the whole thing was revealed of who he was, I think nobody cared anymore. Right? People were like going back through other stories and everything, and nobody cared anymore. So say,
Even after reveal for me as a turtle stan, I still was interested in the story, but I can't speak for everybody else.
Let's see what else we got here. We got Transformers with a nice 1/10. This was like the Transformers. What's the one with the animals? I forget what it's called.
Beast Wars.
Yeah, Transformers Beast Wars Annual. Cover B 1 to 10.
Did Ultra have anything cool to say about this?
Oh, I don't think he's a Beast Wars guy at all.
Because Megatron, Soundwave, and Starscream, they want to have words with Ultra because they need to get laid, and they need Ultra's help. And he keeps on saying no, and they're upset.
I don't like to bring up other people's sex life, but you go ahead, man. You go ahead. There's a crazy cover with a dude with half his fat face torn off. In this new title called A Town Called Terror. Issue number
Sounds like a
1.
cool book.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. Written by Steve Niles.
Ooh, and
Art
it's
by
Niles too. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So keep an eye out for that one. There's another Norman Rockwell homage for Anita Hall's Nightmare blog.
Okay.
They are actually homaging the one where he's painting a painting of or a caricature of himself.
I still think this is the next series of homages to be done to death.
Scumbag, which this one has been on FOC before. This is the homage to Jaws.
All right.
It's
back on FOC.
Yeah, back on FOC. I don't know. I guess they just didn't understand that people don't give a damn about Scumbag anymore. And
Yeah,
they
probably.
decided, oh well,
I'm actually surprised this book is still being produced.
Yeah. The Avengers, number 55. There is a Momoko variant. That one's open order. It's got Phoenix on the cover. It's all right. Then there's a Spider-Man version of that one too. Then Ben Riley's Spider-Man, and this one is nothing special, has a Garner 1 in 25.
Okay.
Captain America has an open. Wait, let me check and see if that's open order. Nope, this one is a 1 in 50 by Adam Hughes. It's got Sam Wilson on the cover. It's got Captain America on the cover, and it looks like absolute shit. Like I don't understand what he was going for here. This is not Adam Hughes' good stuff. When I get an Adam Hughes cover, I just want women on the cover, and I just want to.
No, I agree. We want the TNA.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't. If no TNA, then some long legs. Put those on the cover.
With fishnets for our homie Johnny.
Yeah, make use of the human form or something like that. This is just two guys standing around. Threw some fireworks in there, and we're supposed to spend $100 on this fucking thing.
Look on eBay. I think this may be one of the Adam Hughes you'll find on there cheaper. Wait, don't be shooting up with the Selma with the most addictive drug in them all.
Nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
And let's see, Captain America. Let's see which one is this one. And then there's a 1 in 25 by Jim Chung. And it's basically the same thing. It's just Captain America and Sam Wilson, and they're not really doing anything. I don't know why it's so hard to draw this. But there is an open order Alex Ross with Sam Wilson flying on the cover, getting shot at. That probably should have been the 1 in 25 or the 150.
Probably.
Carnage. Let's see, which one is this one? This one is the Carnage cover A, drawn by Kendrick Lim, and it looks pretty good. But once again, that one's an open order. Now, of course, anytime you bring up Venom or Carnage, you got to have Delato. Delato pulls one out. It doesn't look as good as the Kendrick Lim, though, man. So I don't know what Delato has been doing.
What's the ratio on that Delato?
Open order.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah. Deadpool Bad Blood number 2. The reason, and this one's an open order, but the reason why I pulled this one up is because it says, hey, Deadpool is on the hunt for a super weapon with ties to his past, but every time he gets close, the armored brute named Thumper. I'm not familiar who Thumper is, Thumper. nor do I know what the super weapon is. Usually, when you talk about super weapons, when it comes to Deadpool or Wolverine, that's a new character. So I would say keep an eye out for. I don't even know if Deadpool Bad Blood #1 has come out.
Not sure yet. I don't think so.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for that one. Let's get on it
Thunder.
and freaking read it.
That's the name they're going with.
That's the name of the fucking rabbit from fucking Bambi. Shit.
Yeah, which got shot in the third act, along with Bambi's mom. I've seen it.
All right. Hulk #6.
All right, this is on FSC for this week.
That's on FOC for this week. So it says, hey, Smastronaut. The first arc of Donny Cates and Ryan Otley's mind-blowing Hulk saga reaches its epic climax as Bruce Banner's control over the Starship Cup slips and something much worse takes the wheel. So is that another version of the Hulk? I don't know, but the thing that is on this cover right here, and what I'm looking at is what is this? What is this? This is the 1 in 200 Alex Maleev. It's absolutely terrifying, and it's got the perspective that it's jumping right at you. Now, you would think, hey, 1 in 200, that's fucking ridiculous. Well, there's also a 1 in 500. A 1 in 500 by who is it? Holly? I forget who. Oh no, by Ryan Stegman, of course. And it's an amalgam of Hulk, David Banner, and some other character. Don't know who. Then we got there's a Mastrazo, a 1 in 25 Mastrazo variant. Silver Surfer versus the Hulk and Galactus.
Interesting. But just remember, Donny Cates doesn't climax well, yo.
He does not. He has not had
Oh
a good
man,
climax.
great startings. You know the shaft gets hard, and the story is good, and he's about to nerdgasm all over our faces and give it a station goodness of speculation. Doesn't climax well at all.
Yeah, but the Hulk didn't start out that well either. That's why a lot of people have ignored that shit out of it.
That's true.
But there is a spoiler variant for this one. Let's see. What I have up now is Legion of X #1. Here's what this list says. It says it's written by Cy Spurrier. It says it's up to the ever soulful swashbuckler Nightcrawler to keep the spark alive in Legion, and blah blah blah. Kicking off with the hunt for a missing Araki god or Araki god. So there's a new one out there, and a skinjacker possessing innocent mutants. Read this issue and come meet Weaponless Zen or Sarada and a villain worth praying for. So there you go. It looks like there's going to be several new characters they're going to be in this new book called The Legion of X.
Interesting.
Let's see, which one do I have up here? Because there is a 1 to 10 of this bad boy. The one that I have up looks like a design variant. It doesn't have the name of the character though. It's just a lady. She's orange. She's got a mask, and then that's it. Doesn't have the name of her though, and it's an open order. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Legion of X. There's that weird Mueller design. Then there's one with Nightcrawler. I don't know whether he's fighting this lady or fucking her. I don't know what the hell is going on.
It could be both.
You're not supposed to shit where you freaking punch balls, man. It's just a roll. It's a roll. Let's see. Moon Knight #9 is going to have a second print, and it looks better than the first print. I'll tell you what, because it's mostly just black and white with a little bit of glow to it.
You're nice.
Silk #4 is coming out. I'm trying to see this. It says, "Hey, Silk becomes her newest villain's latest victim, which is the witch. Her first appearance was in the first issue. How would she say today when she can't even cross the street by herself? And that's because she's been turning into an old lady, of course. Um, the baddest joint right now is the cover A. Is it the cover A? No, it's cover C, I guess, the Ji Hung Lee variant.
All
It's
right.
got her. It harkens back to her first appearance in costume. People forget that her first costume was this costume right here, where she was butt naked and she just spun some fucking the webbing around herself.
Yes.
People
And,
forget that shit.
I still understand why in the cosplay community, Spider Gwen took off when Silk kind of didn't for a while,
I don't know.
especially using that costume.
I don't know. Cause you know why, right? Because Silk. The only reason why Silk is there is because she's supposed to appeal to the Asian community.
Okay.
Well, the problem with that is that if most of the Asian community and even some of the black community are all about manga, all is lost. It's too little, too fucking late.
Okay.
Too little, too fucking late. And then, of course, what do I always complain about these diverse characters is that okay, all they are just Asian or black characters, superheroes, right? They're not the feeling of hey, this person is Asian, this person is living that Asian life is always missing. It's always missing. Like I'm not gonna go into it. I'll fucking say more on fucking
Yeah,
Drunken Chat.
sure. We can go. We can save that for drunken shot.
Let's keep it going. Let's see. Silver Surfer Rebirth, number 4. Uh, there's going to be a Gwenverse joint. There's a Greg
Yay!
Land.
Just when I thought I was done with these damn things.
There's a Gwenverse Rian Gonzalez, which is kind of cute. And that one's a 1 in 25. That's the Greg Land. Then there's a design variant of her dressed as Wolverine.
All right.
Star Wars 1 in 25. Nothing special. I don't know what's going on here. Wolverine. I think there's only one cover for this one. Nope, there's several
Holy shit.
covers. No, there are several covers, but the one that I have up here is a 1 in 25, and it's just him, Wolverine, carrying Deadpool away from a fire. It's weird.
Ooh, nice.
Knighted by AWA Studios. It's got what are those called? Those freaking toy covers. Oh, action figure cover. Yeah, action figure covers. That's basically what this is. Of a story of a character that nobody gives a fuck about right now. Seven Secrets got it as a Mercado, or actually has a couple of Mercado covers. What's the Sundown number 2? It's got a great cover of a homage to those old 70s horror posters.
Nice.
Draculina number 3 by Beish. A lot of front and back meat showing.
Yeah.
Red Sonja Nakayama, really good. Sheena Queen of the Jungle by Rose Beish, really good. A lot of front meat showing.
Okay.
Now this one is something that I think people should probably keep an eye on. The covers look absolutely fantastic. I have not read it yet. Hopefully, Comic Crusaders gets an advanced copy. So this one says Black Caravan premieres, David Burns canceled. And on the cover is a craziest ass looking clown that you've ever freaking seen. I swear to freaking God. Let's see. And yep, there's several covers. And yeah, there's a couple of those covers just has these crazy ass looking freaking clowns, and those clown covers look really good. I'll tell you that.
I'm gonna have to get a couple of those.
Yeah, I definitely think you should get them. Kaiju Score, number 1 by Aftershock. I don't have these covers yet. So I don't have a photo, but Something is Killing the Children, number 22, is on FLC this week as well. And there's a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50 and an unlockable 1 per store.
Alrighty. And everyone, please pray to the podcast gods because I'm working on getting Tinny in for the show.
Okay. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Cheech and Chong's Chronicles: A Brief History of Weed.
Nice.
Batgirls #5, Rian Gonzalez, that one's on 125. That Catwoman of her in the bathtub, that one's back up again.
What is that issue 41?
I forget what issue that one is.
Yeah, because I know there's one with her and Harley Quinn taking selfies. That's a
No, this one.
125?
No, this one is of Catwoman in the bathtub, soaking, and then there's the photo of herself up above the bathtub.
Yep.
That one's back up again. I guess nobody gave it.
That's cover A, right?
No, that one's incentive, I believe.
Right.
Now, here's the interesting thing about this one. This one is I Am Batman #6. We all know that there has been a push to make the future Batman black.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that this dude looks so much like Lil Nas?
I have no clue.
And for those that don't know who Lil Nas is, he is one of the first gay rappers ever. And this dude looks exactly like him. And his Batman suit is pink, like a pink purple.
Okay.
And if you look at his crotch, it's just like bulging out there. I don't know what in the heck they're doing, but I think they're trying to turn Batman gay. That's the only thing that makes sense because they literally literally got Batman.
Yeah, but even the black Batman, Tim Fox, which they introduced in Future State, wasn't gay.
I don't know what.
I mean, I don't know why DC is on this gay kid.
I don't know. No. It's the problem isn't him being gay. It's the problem is that he looks too much like Lil Nas. And Lil Nas was way out there. Okay. I do not. If I'm in trouble, I do not want Lil Nas to come to my rescue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, true that.
See, Justice League #75.
The Death of the Justice League.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
On the 30th anniversary of the death of Superman.
Nice House on the Lake. Cover B. It's got more stuff coming out. I gotta get caught up on that one, but it's
same here. I may still wait for the trade to read it.
Naomi season 2. It's got a photo.
Got another photo cover.
Yeah, photo
TV
cover.
Show that's doing so well.
Right. Is it doing well? Because I
was being sarcastic because I stopped watching after episode 3.
Yeah, because I would say that you'll probably see this young lady at some conventions pretty soon, so you can just grab this, get her to sign it.
Exactly. And I'll wait for this season to end, then I'll watch it all at one sitting because it's rough. It's kind of hard to watch that right after Peacemaker.
Yep. But, sir, that is the end of it. It is 10:33. It is time for you to put the show to bed. Go ahead, sir.
Everyone. I want to thank you all for inviting me in your home, making me a part of your Wednesday nights. Remember, you don't need sight to have vision. It's not what happens to you, it's what you do about it. I'd like to thank my sponsors. I'd like to thank 98 Wednesdays. Please check 98 Wednesdays out. Get your comics in a guaranteed 98 each and every Wednesday. Exotica hits Chicago April 28th to May 2nd. Come have a good, sexy time with all your favorite stars. I'd like to thank Key Collector Comics. The app that you use to check on stuff so you can raid your comic shops with all the good books. Type in Blind Adam, all one word, for 2-3 weeks. Of course, you have Bad Dragon for all your adult toy entertainment. It's a bad-dragon.com. Big Apple Comic-Con returns to the New Yorker Hotel on March 26th from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. I will be there. Like me and Calamity Collectibles will be set up. And, Twin Cities Comics, they have a great signing going on with Jason Lee. Tell him what I sent you. I love you. Be safe, be well, pay for your porn. Only buy the comics you like. You'll always make your money back that way. And keep your pan strong. Use the force. I love you all. Blind Animal. Bye, Brian.